Hi, it's Stephen here from Son of a Nation Wave, and this is day 21 of the April Daily Draws. So as we begin a new week, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Celtic Spirit Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Lord, which is this deck's name for the Emperor. The Empress is the lady in this deck, and the Emperor is the Lord. So we'll refer to him as the Emperor, because that'd be clearer. We know we're talking about the Emperor archetype. So this to me is always about organization. It's about organizing. It's about structure. It's about strategy, planning, getting things in order, making a plan, delegating responsibility where necessary. It's getting things done. It's knowing how to get things done. This is more of the intellectual, the strategic form or aspect of the way that we create. To me, the Empress is more the natural creative energy that freely flows through all of creation, all of nature. And to me, the Emperor is more the structural aspect of that. The way things are put together, the way that energy is channeled and directed in an organized, focused way. And there is structure and an organization within nature. So the two are linked. You know, sometimes when we discuss these cards, we see them as two different things, but they're really, it's almost like it's the same coin, maybe two sides of the same coin, but it's still the same coin. They're still part of the one coin, and they coexist together and make up the whole. So there's an interconnectedness between these energies that when we have separate cards, it almost gives a disjointed view that they're separate entities that don't have a link to one another, but they do. We have to remember that when we're getting the messages from these cards. Then, you know, we may pull one card, but it's not totally separate from the other cards that exist. You know, that it's just part of the whole. So, and the reason I'm saying that is because we've been talking about creative energy. We've even had the lady come out, or the Empress come out earlier in the month. We've been connecting with our natural creative energy, but we've also been, we have at times been focusing on how to focus that energy, how to get our plans together, how to prepare for it and put it in, and how to channel that energy. So the two go hand in hand. But the emphasis today may be on this aspect of it, but it doesn't negate, you know, any other aspect that we've discussed. It just links in with it. So in order to be creative, to bring into our lives the things that we want, to grow as we want, there are aspects where we need to plan, to organize, to think ahead as best as we can. Some of us are good organizers. Some of us are not naturally gifted organizers. Sometimes we can develop the skill, or at least to the level that we need, and maybe not a high level, but enough to be able to get the job done. And there may be things that we need other people to help us with the organizational process. And sometimes, we may not know how to go about planning and organizing certain things because it's beyond our scope of understanding or knowledge. And we may need to go to someone and say that maybe does have that knowledge and get their advice. Maybe they'll be able to do some organizing for us. So this could represent somebody coming and helping you organize things in the aspects that you can't take care of, that's beyond your sphere of knowledge or influence, or a bit, or even authority. There's certain things in life that we aren't able to do. We need to get somebody in official capacity sometimes to do the things that only they can do because of the position they hold in the job that they do, perhaps. So you need to go and find a good qualified person, somebody in the right position that can help you. Maybe this is what this card is saying to some of us. So, but it's all about the aspect of getting things organized, set in motion, knowing what needs to be done, and also concerned with the how it's going to be done. We all have a desire to achieve something. We all have a want to get something done, but we may know the what. We may even understand the why. But this is more about the how, and occasionally the who, as in who can help us do that. Are we going to do it all? Are we going to do some? Somebody else is going to help. So it's more about the how it's going to be done and who's going to be doing it. So that's the questions that we are considering today, because there may be things that we can't do that we need somebody else to help with. And there's nothing wrong with asking for a little bit of help, even though we may feel awkward about doing so. So, but with the things that we can do, it's just up to us to think about how we're going about doing it, getting the strategy, getting the plans in place, and putting those plans into practice. And as I say, instructing other people to do something if we need to, if we're working in a team setting or work setting, and getting help from elsewhere where necessary if that's applicable. But this is about the how, mainly the how, and sometimes the who. So we know what we want to do. This is to think about how we're going to do it. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Let me do it, because I had a couple of cards there. So we'll make sure we'll have a good shuffle. Right, we'll do it this way. Just let me pull out. We have the blue card, the blue here. And this is about depressed, isolated help. If it gets to the point where the weight of what we need to do and what we need to organize is too much for us, and it depresses us, it makes us feel bad, we feel that we're all alone and we don't know how to do it, and we're all, then that is the time to seek someone to help. So this is saying, know when to ask for help. Get the help that you need when you need it. And that's included in the aspect of your organizing. Part of the organizing is to know what you can do and how you can do it, and what aspects of it is what you need to be done, but who else could do that. That's the important element of the message of these cards today. So that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 22. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.